So this song right here is the last song on side A or side one, right? And it's John Lennon. So far, George Harrison has 2 songs. Paul McCartney sang 2 songs, and this is the second song from John Lennon. And Ringo has 1 song. Track number 7, people. This is Revolver, track by track album review by the Beatles. Released 1966, the follow-up to Rubber Soul. If you've been enjoying this journey so far, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment, and hitting that subscribe button. I got the lyrics. The interesting thing I just read about this is that Paul McCartney had an argument with John Lennon, so he left during the session. So George Harrison is actually playing bass on here. So that's interesting. I got the lyrics. So much drama. I got the lyrics. Let's go ahead and listen. This is She Said, She Said. Yeah.
She said, I know what it's like to be dead. I know what it is to be sad. And she's making me feel like I've never been born. I said, who put all those things in your head? Things that make me feel that I'm mad. And you're making me feel like I've never been born. She said, you don't understand what I said. I said, no, 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 you're wrong. When I was a boy, everything was right. Everything was right. I said, even though you know what you know, I know that I'm ready to leave. 'Cause you're making me feel like I've never been born. She said, you don't understand what I said. I said, no, 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 you're wrong. When I was a boy, everything was right.
What he said when I was a boy kind of feels off.
Everything was right. I said, even though you know what you know, I know that I'm ready to leave. 'Cause you're making me feel like I've never been born. She said, I know what it's like to be dead. I know what it's like to be dead. What it is to be sad. What it is to be sad.
Okay. I got so many things to say about this song right here. First of all, this song feels chaotic and it feels a bit off. When he said what is it? I know what. And you're making me feel like I've never been born. It ain't that part, but I have pointed it out. There's a part on here where he sounds kind of off. Matter of fact, every line he's saying feels like he's about to go off, but doesn't. Almost like Control Chaos. the lyrics, of course, I love the lyrics. It's about a relationship of somebody that feel like they're being mistreated, that feels like they're not being seen, that's in a sad state, almost like they're dead. So that's sad as hell. Another thing, George did a good job with the bass on here. So I look, I never even knew that George Harrison could play the bass. So it seems like a lot of these guys, they do multiple things. There's times that Paul McCartney has done different roles or whatever. Another thing too, I love the vocals on here. At first, when I was listening to this song, I'm like, do I like this? And the more it progressed, it kind of feels like it's about to be off balance, but it never happens. It's like, all right, it's reeled back in, and I'm like, oh, this kind of makes this song unique in a way. It's definitely the most chaotic song and the most untightened song on the album, but it's there. Like, I love the subtle organ on here. I love the guitar licks on here. I like it. It sounds a bit noisy too. It sounds like she said, but all of it makes sense. If that makes sense. I feel like this is one of those songs when you pop it in, it catches you off guard because he's singing in a very melodic way. He's stretching the words, he's stretching the vocals, but then he says some lines that feel like almost like a run-on sentence. When you look at it, you're like, what the is this going? But then he turns it back around. Shouts to John Lennon, man. That's a way to end a side. That is a way to end a side. And I would probably listen to this side again. This side was spectacular. Fucking spectacular. Spectacular. Shout outs to the Beatles, man. Shout outs to the Beatles. I can imagine being a kid and listening to this in an era. I mean, 66. There were other progressive rock bands that were, starting to push the edge of what, popular music is. I feel like the electric blues was just getting stronger and stronger. I think more people was dabbing into psychedelic. I don't think it was named that I don't think it was like defined as a genre yet, but I've heard other bands around that era that I feel like was kind of, experimenting with their sound also. I do feel like the Beatles had the loudest voice, and it was the most noticeable just because of what they were before. So, my bad, my screen just went off. I got worried for a second. But yeah, let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. I can't wait to start side B, B-side. Man, so many jam-packed songs, but Eleanor Rigby stood out to me just because everything about it was just kind of like not what I expected. I don't think there was any drums or any guitars or anything like that. It was just that track just stand out, especially when it's coming after Taxman, which was a bit raw, and then you get this sad, almost theatrical movie like song that's just stuck in my mind. I feel. But hey, let me know what's your favorite song so far in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate y'all, and I will see you inside B. You better be there. Peace.